Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, February the 1st of 2021. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shelly, and I share about my stitching life and a little bit of life update, which I will do at the end today. So yeah, I've gotten a few new subscribers, so welcome to everybody who's new. I hope you find something you like and you hang around. And for all my returning viewers, I love you guys. So I appreciate you being here to spend some time with me again this week. Okay. So I've got a good bit of stitching to show. I've got an FO, got a previous finish. I've got quite a bit of haul and some plans. All right, so let's see. I think I'm going to save. I know I was going to save the excuse me, the life update for the end. I think I'm going to save the one I'm loving for the end too. So as far as previous finishes goes, today's the 1st, so I had to get out my February edition of Year of Celebrations. This is a pattern by Hands On Design, and it features all 12 months plus 2 additional charts for Canadian stitchers. So I love this February one. I love that heart. So cute. So this is stitched on 28 count factory tea-dyed Monaco, and I used mostly DMC. The buttons, the center little, I don't know if they're buttons or flowers. They look like both to me, but I think that's the only fancy floss I used. So I always love when I can pull that piece out. So this past week, for my magazine monthly challenge, all I did was work on this next piece, and I was able to get it finished. So let's see, let me get my Readly pulled up. So I can show you pictures. Sorry, I should have had this pulled up already. Here we go. Okay. So this pattern has a larger piece, and then I just did the smaller piece. And I'm going to turn this into an ornament for one of my grandsons. So this was my first time doing black work, and I might have opened a can of worms because I absolutely love it. So this is my finished piece. And I love the way it came out. I'd like to do it with different color flosses, because I think it's pretty. It does have beads. I don't know if you can see it, but like there's a bead in between each one, each little motif, and then some in the centers of these have beads. And I just used clear beads. I think maybe it called for something different that I didn't have, and I just went with what I have. I mean, you can see them when you're looking at it in real life. So this is stitched on some 14 count white Aida that I just picked up at Hobby Lobby when I first got back into stitching. And let's see, the floss colors or DMCs. 996, 414 is the gray, and then 995 is the other blue. And that when you see them in real life, you're like, whoa, that's really bright. But I think it looks pretty. And my older grandson's favorite color is blue, so I think he'll like that. So that's my my one stitching FO. I do have some other stuff that I finished, but I'm gonna save that for a haul. So my weekly focus piece this past week was Doreen Jones's Garden SAL. And this is my project. It lives in this bag by Denise at Goose. I love this bag. I couldn't resist getting it because of the fabric. And it also has a little project pal that holds your threads. Let's see. I've got pictures in too many different places. Let's see. Here we go. So this is the picture of what it will look like when it's done. Or that's the picture of what the design looks like. I've used different colors, so mine will be a little bit different. And let's see. Sorry if that's making too much noise. I don't think about, the things that are around the computer usually sound a little louder, so I do apologize. So this is stitched on 22 count Aida that I picked up at Michael's. Let me get it pulled a little bit further over. Okay. So when you saw it last time, I had started on this flower in this box right here. So I got all of that finished. I did the butterfly. I finished this box, and then I came over here and did this box with the little bee-skip. It did call for a white for the wings on the bee, and I used 712 instead, just so that it would, stand out more. So yeah, I'm loving this little piece. It's just sweet, really sweet. I think I've got a mistake though somewhere. This is going to be, I don't know, I'm missing, like this is not going to, the designs are not going to come as close to this inside border as they're supposed to, but it's no big deal. And I'm just using my own selection of DMC flosses. So that was my focus piece last week. And then I'm not sure. I'm like I've been doing these weekly, and I was sort of doing them from Monday to Sunday. Covering what I do Monday from Monday to Sunday. And I don't know why I started doing that, because I really hate a Monday to Sunday calendar. I prefer a Sunday through Saturday. So I may change it up, but for right now, this morning, I just realized I was like, okay, what do I need to, how far do I need to go? So I may change it up next week. So you may see some things twice. So my weekly focus piece for the coming week is another ornament that I'm working on for my older grandson. And I do digital patterns if at all possible. So I just have to pull up the pictures on my device. So let's see. All right. So this is what it looks like. Cute little deer. I had wanted to do that for him this past Christmas, but then COVID had other plans for me. So this is my progress. This is stitched on a piece of, I don't know, crap linen. I don't know what else to call it, from Joann. But I figured, you know, little ornaments, I can just use it. And I don't know why they have you cut the pieces so big, but this is what the magazine told me to cut. I think it's a 32 count, not positive, but I bought it at Joann. So I'm using the call for colors. No, I'm not. I'm lying. What am I going to do with my sheet? These are the colors that I'm using. It called for, I want to say it called for dinky dyes. It did. It called for dinky dyes, and it gave DMC alternatives, and I just picked my own. So I'm using 319 for the green. The deer is Classic Colorworks Caramel, and then his antlers are going to be, I think his antlers and his nose are going to be the Gentle Art Acorn. So that's my weekly focus piece. I have a feeling that I'll get that completely finished. We'll see. I mean, I think I will get it finished this week. So this is the bag that I made with some fabric that I had in my stash for a long time. But I have basically a bunch of Christmas, not all of my Christmas, but a bunch of Christmas patterns in here because I just ran out of project bags. So, okay. All right, so we talked about this one. I have my sheet of notes on my projects by me. So for my daily rotation this past week, I worked on, for Merry Monday, the Quaker de Noel by Jardin Prive. And this is also stitched on some of that 14 count opalescent white Ada from Hobby Lobby. And yeah, I've like really flubbed measuring it out, but so I had, what I got done this past week was this motif, this part of the motif right here. So I am using Razzleberry from Classic Colorworks is the main color. The words are in Jolly Holly. And then I just used a darker grain. I'm drawing a blank on what the darker green I chose for the Christmas tree was. And I don't have it written down. But basically, I just wanted a darker color for the Christmas tree. So this is going to be, you can see what I have left is pretty much like from here over here, and then the bottom 2 rows, roughly. So I shared last time that I am going to do March Mayhem, and I'm going to use pieces that I'm close to getting finishes on. And this is one that will be like a little bit of a challenge to get it done in a month. But I wanted to put it in there because I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. And then for, let's see, Timely Tuesday, the Tiny Decisions app chose one that I worked on not long ago. And this lives in my Eat, Sleep, Stitch, Repeat bag. This cross-stitch pattern is by Lori Holt. It's stitched on 25 count platinum Lugana. And then I turned it into a project bag. So, sorry, I have like a lot of congestion this morning. So, the Valentine House Trio, it chose the Beloved House, which I worked on not long ago, so I was excited to get to work on it again. And so this is my progress. I did some more on the house, and yeah, I did some more on the house around the window and stuff with the white. This is stitched on 28 count woodchout linen. It's in the color China Pearl. And I'm using a variety of fancy flosses using the color conversion that Autumn.Stitches on Instagram used. And I want to say that the wheel, well, I think it picked, for this coming week, I think it picked Be Mine House. So I'll get to work some on that this coming week. The Beloved House could maybe be one of the ones that I put in my rotation for March Mayhem, but I don't know. Because it's really getting kind of close. Okay, let's see. And then for Wordy Wednesday, it shows my homegrown piece by Fat Quarter Shop. So I was able to, this is what it looks like finished. I was able to go ahead and get the rest of the M outlined. And then I started filling it in at basketball game this past weekend. And then in the middle, I lost my needle and it just was like not found. I think it fell like in between the cracks of the bleachers and fell down to the floor. So this is stitched on 14 count, let's see, 14 count whitewashed board Ada from Fabric Flare. So when you do the Stitch Quarterly from Fat Quarter Shop, you get the fabric, the flosses, the pattern, a little notion, and the bag. It all comes in, you know, a matching sort of bag that you can then use, you know, later for other projects. So that's sort of my piece that I use when I'm for on-the-go stitching, with the letters especially. With the sunflower, I wouldn't be able to just, you know, that wouldn't be a travel pattern. And those are all DMC flosses that were supplied with the chart, with the kit. Okay, then Thankful Thursday, I got to work on my Fall into Autumn band sampler again. And I've said before, if the wheel picks something and I, you know, don't really want to work on it, or like now, if it picks one that I'm going to do in March, I just spin again. So this lives in a project bag that I made with some fabric from Joanne. And let's see. Let me go back to my Readly and find a picture of this. Orientation. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. Sorry, I'm trying to get it where it doesn't have glare on it. And that's part of a series from CrossStitcher magazine. this is my progress. So I got finished with the girl on the bike. I think I'm finished with the guy with the, what's he doing? Oh, he's raking leaves. I don't know why I thought he was pushing a lawnmower at first, but, and then I added the little girl in the swing and started the grass over here. So like all of this section, like under their feet is grass. So quite a bit of stitching. And I want to say that this came up in rotation again for the coming week, so I'll get to stitch on it some more. So this is stitched on 18 count, 18 count oatmeal Aida using DMC flosses. And I just picked, if I didn't have what was called for, I picked close colors for my stash. So that's that. And then on Friday, it picked something that I hadn't worked on in a while, so I was excited about that. And it picked the little sheep virtues. I don't know if you guys have even seen it in a while because, well, I guess you saw it during my whip parade, but let's see. Okay. So these are by Little House Needleworks, and this is the one I'm working on currently. I am doing this, I'm doing these as one piece because, you know, I hardly stitch anything small. So this is what I got done. I basically finished the sheep, and then I started working on the little, I think these are going to be flowers like these down here. I did, I had stitched the words in this brown right here, and I just wanted to do something different. So I went ahead and I had to pull out the PEA because it was stitched in the darker brown, but I didn't replace it yet. Look at that little sheep with his heart. So cute. So this guy is stitched on 28 count witch out linen in Venetian stone, and I am using the, let's see, I'm pretty sure I'm using all the called for. Yes. So these little sheets that I use to keep track of my progress, my projects. So these are like this, usually it's not this full, but because this is a 12-part series, no, not 12, I think it's 9. No, it's 12. It looks a little fuller up here, but just because I didn't want to do them as individual projects because I'm finishing it all as one. But then on the back side, I will list out my, like what it called for, the symbol, and then my choices of thread. And then I have a place for, you know, I can mark right here if I have it or need it. And then I'll put some, you know, some finishing ideas right here. So that was my Flora, Fauna, and Filigree Friday. And this lives in a So Much to Love bag, which I think is so cute. It's the only bag of hers that I have, but I love it. Okay, and then on Seasonal Saturday, it shows Jan Hicks Creates Spring Flourish. Let's see. Let's see. Thought I had taken a picture of it. I didn't, so sorry, I don't have a picture of it. Well, maybe I do. I do. I have a printout. Okay, so this is what it looks like. These are basically, I think she has all of them done, all 4 seasons. She took some word art that she had done on her computer and then just converted it to a chart. And this lives in a one of the Gingham on the Go bags from Fat Quarter Shop. And then I have some little bling for your ring that I won from Devon at Strawberry Lane on Etsy, but her channel here is Hoops and Needles, I believe. So I'm stitching this on 28 count woodshot linen in Water Lily. And I have a lot of this 28 count woodshot because I was in Fat Quarter Shop's linen club, and that was the count that they offered. And I really have too much fabric. I really need to cut it down because it's a pain to stitch on. I'm doing these in Mrs. Sada's Silks. She has a pack for this pattern. And let's see, I finished in here. I did all of the R, started on the I, and then around the R. It's so soft, you guys. Silks are just so soft. It feels like, you know, those little touch and feel books for kiddos that have the little soft things. That's what it reminds me of. So I love stitching on that a lot. I'm stitching 2 over 2. I know I should be saying, usually it is 2 over 2 unless I say otherwise. I should be telling. Okay, so that was Seasonal Saturday. And okay, so yesterday, you know, started a new week, and so that's what I was saying. Like, I should have, I don't know. I need to go from Sunday to Saturday, but it doesn't really matter. It just kind of got me confused about what I was supposed to be sharing. So for Sampler and Stitch Along Sunday, it chose the Collecting Colors, which you saw not long ago. So I was able to get this finished, this block, and then all the little doodads around it. I'm seriously considering going ahead and stitching the outside border because it really is really, really pretty. I don't know what colors I'm going to use. I would like to be able to stitch it as I'm going along right now, but it's like I don't know what colors to pick because I don't know what colors I'm going to choose for the rest of the blocks. So it's like, what's going to be good colors to choose for the border. Let me show you a picture of the finish. So this is the finished, the designer's finished project. And of course she used, she used blues, and she used, I'm trying to get rid of the glare, she used blues right in here in this inner border. So I was kind of looking at, since I used purple in the inner border, I was looking at purples. I don't know if I want to go with the exact same color. I guess that might be the best thing to do, though, is to just go with the same color. We'll see. But anyway, you see how much stitching that will be for that border. But God, it's gorgeous. So we'll see. I'll decide in the next little bit what I'm gonna do. So this is stitched on 28 count white Monaco, and it calls for Aurifil. I'm just choosing my own DMCs. I kind of use the little converter as a springboard and then find something close to it. Okay, that's my stitching that I did this week. And let's see, I'm going to show you my little calendar. So I think I did pretty good for the month of January. All the pink highlights are the things that I got done. So not too bad. And then this is the beginning of my one for February. So, and I left all of these weekly focus pieces blank because I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish that little ornament before the week is out. Okay, so the wheel actually chose, for this coming week, it chose 2 of the different Valentine houses. So it chose the Be Mine for the Timely Tuesday, which is things that I use, like, really wanted to try to have that finished for this February, but it didn't happen, but that's because I have too many whips. And then for Saturday, which is Seasonal Saturday, it chose the Beloved House again. So that's why I was sort of thinking that I may be able to put that in my March Mayhem plans. Okay, let's just go ahead and talk about plans, and then I'll do haul. So I'm doing continuing the magazine monthly challenge. This week I will work on the Alsatian Heart red work pattern. And it's gorgeous. That's what that looks like. I already have it kitted up. It calls for a single color of DMC variegated 115. And you need 2 skeins. I found Hobby Lobby was the only place that I found had the variegated in stock. And they had 3 skeins left, but 2 of them were of the same dye lot. The other one wasn't. So I lucked out on that, really. I was going to do this on a piece of 28 count Woodshell white chocolate. But when I went to Michael's last week, I found this this package with this Irish linen, which I had never seen before in there. So I went ahead and picked it up I kind of opened the package to sort of look at it and make sure, because I've bought some of these before and they looked like gauze. The Charles Craft, I mean. So I didn't want to end up with something that looked like gauze. And when it's rolled up, you can't really tell. So I did open it and sort of fold it back. It's really soft. It's really pretty, and I think it could be a good inexpensive linen to use. So I thought it was pretty close to what that called for looks like. Pretty close. So I think that's going to look good. And then I'm also going to work on Nativity Silhouette, which is one that I started before. I'm going to work on my weekly rotation pieces. I am going to start today the 2 stitch-alongs that Fat Quarter Shop's doing this month. The Stitches from the Heart is one part of their Be Mine SAL. And this is what it looks like. I did kit that up last night with, let's see, I don't know, I think I left this on my desk, but this is so this is a piece of Weeks 32 count in blush. And then these are silks from Paint Box threads. So I think I'm using all but 2 of them in this pattern. So instead of red and pink, mine's going to be pink and purple. So I'm pretty anxious to get started stitching on that. And then the other stitch along that they're doing is the Stronger Together, which is, so this is the main pattern and then this is the bonus pattern. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to stitch the main piece and then I'm going to stitch the words. I may do a word on top and a word on the bottom. I need to decide that because I'm starting it today. So I need to make sure I have, if I'm going to do that stronger at the top, then I kind of need to know before I start, because I don't start in the middle. I guess I could, but I don't know. Anyway, so that's the other stitch along that they're doing. So I'm starting those 2 today. And then I think around the 13th it is, the Stitching Book Club starts. And she's selling kits, but they sell out as soon as she lists them on her Etsy shop. And she's released them like the last 2 Saturdays, which I wouldn't have been able to even try to get one because of basketball games. So I decided I was going to go ahead and just dye my own fabric. And oh my God, y'all, rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. So I wanted to do a piece for this as well. They have it on aqua dyed effect from Fabric Flare, which I find Fabric Flare's fabrics are very expensive. So I spent some time yesterday and I had a piece, I had just like one piece of antique white Aida that I wanted to sort of practice on. So the first one I did was this piece right here, which I'm happy with it. I did aquamarine first, and then I had some evening blue, and then I did both of those, just dunked them in a mason jar is what I used, and then I just sort of scrunched it up and did pearl gray and just drizzled it, spooned it over it. So I'm happy with, I was happy with the way it came out for my first time of dyeing. And I need to use this at the end to show y'all something. So then I was looking at the Stronger Together pattern and I was like, I really want, like it has that pink in the middle, so I was like, I really want some pink in it. So I did aquamarine, pour over, and then I did, I scrunched it and spooned over fuchsia, and then it was a little light, so I did some more, I added more dye, more fuchsia dye, and sprinkled it again. And then when I took it, you know, after it set and I rinsed it, I found it was a little bright. So I just did a pour of the pearl gray and just let it set for like 3 minutes and just sort of toned it down a little bit. So I'm actually, you know, this is the test piece, and, you know, I didn't have if I had more, I would have done, like if I had 2 packs of 8, I would have done, you know, the whole packs in each one. But since I didn't and I had to cut it, I mean, this is not going to be big enough to stitch that piece on, the Stronger Together. I really like this piece better than the official piece, which I'm about to show you. But it's good. So those are both, I both started with both of those antique white Aida. The fabric that I got to stitch the piece on is the 28 count even weave from Hobby Lobby. And I did rinse it thoroughly, like Sherry at Priceless Stitching suggested. And, you know, they're both 100% cotton. So I sort of thought that they would come out about the same. I realized after I did the first step that I really didn't account for the fact that I had a slightly larger piece of fabric, so that may be what happened, but this is the piece. So it's got the aquamarine. I sprinkled the fuchsia, and then I sprinkled the pearl gray. Just because I wanted something a little different. Both, I mean, I like it, but it's just not, I don't like it as much as the Aida piece. And then this is the back side of it. I mean, and I could choose to stitch on that side if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to stitch on this side. Just because it's a little bit more subtle with the gray. So, one of the videos I watched, you know, I've been watching a bunch of dye videos on FlossTube, and one of them that I watched, the gal did, she did a first application of wine, and then she did an application, you know, all over pour application of purple. And then she did another color. I don't remember what color she did after, but oh my gosh, that fabric was gorgeous. So I was like, this is a big old rabbit hole that I'm going down. So for now I have aquamarine, evening blue, fuchsia, and pearl gray. That's the colors that I have so far. I will be collecting some more just so I can sort of maybe mix colors. Like I was just playing around and mixed some of the, like I had the fuchsia and I sort of mixed some of the, I think the aqua in, I don't remember, but it made a really pretty purple. But for the Stitching Book Club that's coming up, she used the evening blue, and she did finally release a little tutorial on how to dye it. And her fabric in her kits, it's just sort of an all-over color. There's no modeling or anything. I don't know if I want that. Like, I think this might be a pretty piece, you know. I don't think it's big enough. It would be close, because she said a 10 by 10, and this is like a 9 by 15. So, you know, maybe even just without the black, just with the aqua and the evening blue. I don't know. So I'll work on that, you know, probably next week, dyeing the piece for that piece. Okay, so my haul. So I did go last Tuesday to Huntsville and went to Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joanne, and Patches and Stitches. So when I went to Michael's, they had, I was able to find all of the floss that I was looking for my pieces that I need for the Stitching Book Club, and seemed like there was maybe just some flosses that I needed for my stash and other projects, but I was able to find everything that I needed, and I did have a 20% off coupon, so that was a good thing. So I got all of that floss from Michael's. I needed some magnets for finishing, and they had their storage stuff on clearance. So I bought this little thing with the little jars. I do have a diamond painting kit that my daughter got me a couple of years ago for Christmas that I just recently pulled it out and started sort of sorting it. So I thought this would come in handy for, you know, the diamond jewels. And I think that was like $5 or something. And then I saw this, and I don't know what in the world I was thinking. For some reason, I was thinking that this would work for my beads. I don't have any idea why I thought that. Because it's like photo. It's a container with a bunch of photo containers inside of it. I mean, I guess I don't have enough of any one bead to like fill up the whole thing, but I could probably put them in there. Just because what I have my beading stuff in right now is like a little tackle box, and it's sort of like when you open it up, it wants to tip over, which is not a good thing when you're talking about beads. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to use it for that or find another use for it. I mean, I know I can find other uses for it. I could maybe, you know, put my seasonal finishing stuff. That's an idea. In here, because it's, let's see. So 16 cases. So I could get, you know, a good bit of my little finishing doodads in each one of those. So I may do that. I went to Hobby Lobby in Huntsville, and I did pick up 3 zippers for bag making. They had, I want to say they had a sale going on, but I didn't do a good enough job planning. So I knew, you know, I knew for sure that I needed some of these colors, but I didn't do planning as far as like all of the projects that I want to, all of the fabrics that I want to use for the bags. So when I went to Joann's in Huntsville, they had buy 3, get 2 free, which, you know, is a good, I like to snap them up when they're on that special, but I didn't pick any up that day. But I did notice that the sale was through, you know, sometime this month. So I was able to pull out some fabrics, take pictures, and go to the one in Florence and pick some out. So, these are all the zippers that I got. I find that, like I like to use at least an 18-inch because I want my zippers longer than what's called for. And I find that, like in the colors, they don't have all of the sizes in some of the more unusual colors, which is sort of a bummer because there was quite a few of, you know, some little bit of different looking colors in the normal, you know, light purple, dark purple, light pink, dark pink. But then I would look for my size and they didn't have it. So also at Hobby Lobby, I picked up this heart for finishing. I probably would paint it, but isn't it beautiful? And then they also had some of these little Valentine little wood doodads. Love those. And one of the main things that I was going to Huntsville for was Brenda Gervais' new release called Love Notes. Unfortunately, neither one of my LNSs had it in stock. I did order it from the Silver Needle when I got home, but I still haven't gotten a shipment notification. So I hope they still have it because I'm hearing that it's kind of hard to find now. But anyway, I wanted the little. If you look at her her release video or her little sneak peek, she shows each design with little keys on the corner of them, and I thought that was a really cute idea. So I picked up these at Hobby Lobby. I did get some stuff for, I got some some different white fabrics for the insides of the bags. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but this is just like a little white on white Swiss dot. This is sort of a more modern little circle motif. And this is, I have quite a bit of Oriental fabrics that I want to make some bags out of. So I thought that little leaf would be pretty. And then this one as well. This is like bigger flowers and butterflies. You probably can't see that at all. Maybe a little bit there. So I got those. Joanne had these half off, and I thought this was really pretty. You know, maybe for the top part of a bag, or I've seen some that are made with a like a different strip at the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to try that out. And one of the fabrics that I had in my stash was this Mardi Gras mask fabric. I didn't really have anything to use for the accent fabrics, so when I went to Joann's in Florence, they had these fabrics. They had more, but I just wanted something simple since this one is so busy. So I thought those were pretty. I did stop at the Goodwill in Athens on the way home. They didn't have a whole lot, but I found this little piece for $3. So I thought, I have a Plum Street Samplers has a free pattern called Mary Sampler. And so I'm hoping that I can either stitch it on a large enough count that it'll fit, or maybe leave some parts off so that it will fit. Let me show you a picture of it. So that it'll fit, you know, right here. This is a picture of it. So there's two different versions. One has the words God with us, and then one doesn't. And I thought, you know, even if I had to leave the border off to make it fit, that would be a cute piece on that. Oh, I did get some of this DMC to do, like if I'm doing white with snow or something that I want a little sparkle. So I want to try that out. And then patches and stitches. That's where I really did the damage. So I did pick up some needles from Primitive Gatherings. These are the ones that I use for my hand big stitch hand quilting, and these are size 24. They're sort of short, which I like, but they have a big enough needle, a big enough eye to fit the thicker thread through. So I like those a lot. I needed some 12 grain for something that I'm using this in. What am I using this in? Something that called for white. That, oh, the Winter Rose Manor. I had to replace that call for, so I picked up a couple of skeins of that. And then I was looking through one of the books that I purchased. I believe it's in this one. It might have been in one that I looked at that I didn't purchase, because I looked at a bunch of Blackbird books. And it mentioned this thread, and it said, you know, that DMC was a hard thing to convert. So I went ahead and picked up a skein of Stormy Night. Look at that variegation in that floss. Gorgeous. They had like a little little box with, you know, pre-cut little things. I thought this was a pretty color of Ada. So this is an 18 count English Mist. I don't know, just sort of liked it. And I've been seeing several people stitching these, particularly Niecy Lynn, and that is the Little House Needleworks ABCs. So here's winter and summer. The pictures on these do not do them justice at all. Autumn and spring. Look at those little bunnies. So, they're not on my immediate radar. I may start like after March Mayhem when I maybe get some things finished. I may look at it and see, you know, do I want to, like I wouldn't want to start on the spring one because I know I wouldn't have that done, but you know, I can maybe get the autumn one done before autumn, or maybe just start on the winter and then I'd have that one ready. Okay, so I also looked at the Blackbird selection of items, and I only have one Blackbird book. I do have one pattern that a friend shared with me, but when this one first came out, I really wanted to get it, and I just kept talking myself out of it, but I went ahead and picked it up. I looked at all of the books that they had there, and, you know, there were several that I liked, but this one it had a lot of projects that I loved, so I'm sure you've all seen this, but let me just thumb through real quick and like that. Isn't that gorgeous? I've never made a drum, so that would be a good skill builder. This bag. Love that. Gorgeous. And this little housewife. So pretty. Another little bag with birds and hollyhocks. Gorgeous. Let's see. Sanguine. Don't ask me how I knew, but I knew that's what it was going to be. Sanguine is the fabric that my Bluebird of Happiness is called for. Gorgeous. When you look at Sanguine online, it looks more brown. Okay. That's all the haul. That's all the stitching. Talked about my plans. One goal that I do have is I really want to get some Valentine smalls done for next year. I love decorating for Valentine's, and I don't have enough little, you know, smalls to decorate with, so I want that. Okay, so one thing that I'm loving this week is this technique that someone in the North Alabama Stitchers shared the TikTok video for it, and then I subsequently shared it in every group that I'm on Facebook because it's a game changer. So they, the premise or the title or whatever behind the technique was to do a loop start with a single strand, but you could also use it for, you know, a single or 3-strand, but you can also use it for an even number as well. So I'm going to try to show you guys. So basically, you know, no matter which way you do your X, you'll want to start in the hole that you usually go in last. And you'll start from the top, and you'll put your floss in and hold it. Leave that little tail and hold on to it. And then you'll go into the hole that's directly across from that, you know, same level, the top is what I'm trying to say. You'll come up from the bottom in that hole. You'll go down in that same hole, but you won't pull it all the way through. You'll leave a loop. Then you'll go into the bottom hole that is opposite your loop, diagonal. Basically the hole that's underneath where your little tail is. It's really hard to see this from the side. Okay, so I've got my little tail right here, my loop right here, and then my needle is coming up right here. And you run it through that loop and pull it. Then you go down in that hole where the loop was. I need my magnifier. You go back down in that hole where the loop was, and you pull that little knot to the back. And then you just pull this taut and clip it. And you've got a loop start. So, I mean, I have 2 strands of floss right here. I usually do a pin stitch, but if this works, I mean, I find this works better. It's a lot easier. But you can also, the big game changer with it is that you can use it for uneven number of strands to do a loop start. So, you know, after you clip that off, you just go ahead and finish your X, or you go ahead and, you know, if you're doing one X, if you're doing a row, then you would just go ahead and do your next half cross, and then you would come back to there. So, and this is what that's what it looks like on the back. So that's one thing I'm loving this week. The other thing I'm loving this week is Niecy Lynn. And I wanted to show you one thing that she showed besides talking about her. Let me grab it real quick. So she shared a couple of weeks ago that she, and I don't remember if it was her fancy floss or just all of her floss, but she keeps them on a big ring like this. So I have this ring that used to have my quilting rulers on it, but I had so many on it that I felt like it was a little heavy for my pegboard, and I was scared it was going to pull everything down. So I took it off, but I didn't get rid of it. So I went ahead and you know, stuck my fancy flosses on here. So now when I'm kitting up a project, I can just pull the whole thing. And I want to do this. I want to get another one of these and do this with my DMCs as well. Because now I have them just sort of on pegs, sorted out numerically. But I would like to put them on a ring so that the same thing. I can grab the whole thing and go and, you know, sit in my chair and kit up my projects. So I'm loving that. I'm also just loving Niecy Lynn in general. She not this past Friday, but the Friday before his video, she talked about she's expecting a grandbaby, and she was going to make some little burp cloths with minky fabric on the back. If you don't know what minky is, it's a sort of like it's that real soft fabric. It's not like fleece. It's, I don't know. It's a knit fabric that has these little, that's real soft, like a plush, and it has like little bumps all over it. So she, Just go watch that video, her talking about sewing with the Binky, about how the devil himself is the one that came up with Minky, and when you go to hell, that's what you do, you make Minky. And that if she'd have been sewing live snakes, it would have been, you know, not moving around as much. I just got a real kick out of that. So last week when I talked about, in my video, I talked about the Death in Paradise show. Her video this past week, she did give me a little shout out about the quilt behind me and said, you know, I watched Death in Paradise too, and you know, if you need another one to replace it, try the Majorca Files. And so I did. I've watched, I think, 3 episodes and ended the 4th one, and it's hilarious. I love it. So I got a new show to replace Death in Paradise, so I was glad about that. If you don't watch Niecy Lynn, you have to. I mean, I laugh every time I watch her. And some days, like the video about Minky, I think I was laughing the whole time. I had to stop it because I couldn't, you know, I just was cracking up. And she's just sweet, and she's got beautiful stitching too, so check her out. So those are the things that I'm loving. And now we'll go to just a little bit short life update. My grandson had several basketball games. Like, he's been playing weekends and during the week. And when he played during the week last week, he got elbowed in the cheek. And no foul was called. Those refs that night were absolutely horrendous. But anyway, I mean, before the game was over, it was already turning black. So, I mean, it's looking better now, but it's just like, we told him, it's like, you need to, like, up your game of acting. Like, if that happens again, you need to be like, oh my God, it hurts, you know, so that maybe you'll get a foul called. Gosh. Okay, so, I'm going to get serious for a minute. So, my younger daughter, found one of her coworkers, who's a close friend of her. Like, when Lakin moved in her apartment, she helped her find furniture and stored the furniture until she was ready for it. Her name is Tammy, and she has recently found out that she has Hodgkin's lymphoma. So she went in for some kind of procedure on her neck, I think, and they found a lump in her lymph node and biopsied, and that, you know, found out. So they think that they found it at a pretty early stage, but she needs all the prayers she can get. So her name is Tammy. So pray for her. Last week, I asked you to pray for BB, Belinda, my coworker. And unfortunately, she did not beat COVID. She passed away Friday. And I was, you know, just sort of go to her Facebook page and kind of see updates and stuff. And when I went Friday night and saw that, it's like, I haven't seen this woman or even talked to her in 5 years since we worked together, but it's like a light has gone out. Like, when you go and look at her page, you know, every single person talks about how she always had a smile on her face and how absolutely sweet and amazing she was. And it's like, I don't know how much more pain the world can take right now. You know, why can't COVID wipe out the murderers and rapists and, you know, sex traffickers? You know, a good person like her, it just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart for her family, for the people that still work, you know, at the place where I worked. I mean, that place was the only place I've ever worked where it was family. That was your family. It was a true work family environment. And, you know, so just pray for the family and the loved ones of Belinda BB. And I don't know, stay safe, everybody. It's so crazy how, you know, one person can have a mild case and then, you know, another person dies from it. It's nothing to be messed around about or taken lightly, you know, because even if you have a mild case, if you infect someone else, they could die from it. So, you know, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, just take care. And, you know, not only of yourself, but thinking about the people around you that may not fare as well as you would with it. Okay, guys, this one went a little bit long, I think, because of the haul. Oh gosh, I'm at an hour and 11 minutes. But I did have a lot of stuff to share, so I hope you forgive me. I'll be back next Monday. I did want to say that, you know, I filmed these on Monday, but my internet is atrocious, so it'll take at least until tomorrow to upload. And you know, when I was working, you know, it would upload, you know, the next day when I was at work, and so, you know, 12-hour shift, I obviously couldn't do it. So, you know, sometimes it's a couple of days before it gets on there, and you know, I don't always have the description box ready right away, but it'll come in the next day or so if it's not there at first. I do have a couple of leads on jobs. My husband saw one in a local paper, and I'm going to send a resume to that today. And then I also have been thinking about reaching out to one of the cardiology clinics that I worked at. When I started with them, I was only part-time, and I really liked that. I really liked the part-time. And when I had to go to full-time there, it became unbearable because it was just, you know, I did my job that I originally started doing, and then they put me down in reception half the day, and it was too much. I couldn't keep up with the other one because I was in reception too much. But I think working there part-time, you know, it was fine. So I did see that someone that worked there, and she was the person that took over that job, that other job that I had there, not reception. She recently retired. So I'd already been thinking about reaching out to them, and then when I saw that, it was like, I think this might be the time for me to go ahead and reach out to them. So y'all pray for me, and I'll pray for you. And if you made it all the way to this point, I appreciate you, and I will see y'all next week. Happy stitching. Bye, guys.